Hello, welcome to the Artist's Way recap of week 3. I'm happy to say that my spirits are super high, especially in comparison to last week. Last week was a really tough week, and this week was all about recovering a sense of power as an artist. And I absolutely loved the reading. I loved the tasks that I did. I also loved the conversations I had with people this week. I found them super empowering, and I'm excited to share my takeaways and what I learned. So in this chapter, Julia talks about power, and she starts it off with the topic of anger and that emotion in the human body and what it does to our mind, and how that it actually isn't a negative emotion. It's a tool that one can use to figure out which direction they should be going. She says, "Anger is the firestorm that signals the death of our old life." I love this. I think anger is really powerful. It's kind of almost like Gatorade for the soul. It gives you this energy and it inflames you. It makes you bigger, and it makes everything bigger and a bigger deal. So how can you use anger as a tool rather than see it as a negative feeling? One more highlight on anger. She says, "Anger is not the action itself. It's the action's invitation." I love that. The next topic is synchronicity, which made me so happy as I saw it, because in my first week's video I talk about how much I love the idea of synchronicity. So you can watch that if you want to hear how I feel about it and some synchronicities that have happened in my life. And then I'll go over the highlights from this section as well. She says, "Some of us prefer to ignore the possibility of an intelligent and responsive universe, acting and reacting in our interests." So this section was talking about how a lot of people like to use the word coincidence, or yeah, I just got lucky last week and the doctor ended up being there, or some random thing like that. They'll refer to it as some luck or some chance or whatever. But it's actually the universe reacting and gifting something to you after you've maybe manifested it, or maybe you've put a little bit of effort into it. One time I was doing a theta healing session with a healer in Prague, and she told me, after I told her my dreams and what I wanted to do, she told me that all I need to put in is a teaspoon of effort, and opportunities will come flooding into my life. And I love that phrase, just a teaspoon of effort, because not only are you showing yourself that you're taking the risk and you're leaping and the net is going to appear and we're just gonna be okay and we're gonna go for it, we're gonna go for our dreams, you're also telling the universe that you really mean what you're setting off to do, and that the intention is not only an intention, it's action. Then she talks about shame or guilt. And I think this feeling lives in a lot of people, and it's present among artists. A lot of artists are shameful or feel guilty for pursuing something that maybe doesn't guarantee food on the table or a roof over their head. So she talks about this idea of shame and what it could mean for you. Many artists begin a piece of work, get well along on it, and then find, as they near completion, that the work seems mysteriously drained of merit. It's no longer worth the trouble. To therapists, this surge of sudden disinterest in their work, it doesn't matter, is a routine coping device employed to deny pain and ward off vulnerability. This happened to me in my first work. Oh my god. This happened to me actually in the first week of making these videos. I filmed on a Wednesday, and then I was gonna post on a Wednesday, and on Tuesday evening before I posted, I was sitting on the couch talking to it was all edited, the thumbnail was complete, and I sat on the couch with my roommates, and I was like, I cannot do this. Who do I think I am? Like, this was just a fun project for me, and no one wants to see this. People are gonna think it's strange, blah, blah, blah. I was just having all of these doubts about what I was doing, and my roommates as amazing as they are, reminded me, hey, it doesn't matter what people think. That's a big one. And also, you can always delete the video if it wasn't your truth. Clearly it was my truth. Posting and filming and editing these videos in the past 3 weeks has been something I have completely looked forward to. It's been the highlights of my week at certain points, and I love making YouTube videos. I've been on YouTube for a long time, just gawking at YouTubers and really loving that lifestyle. Sorry. And now I'm doing it. I'm finally doing something, and it just feels so great. And so this moment that she said, the sudden disinterest, the coping device that denies pain and wards off vulnerability, this happened to me, and I'm really glad that I was able to push through it and push past the potential shame, because I'm feeling no shame for making these videos, and all I've heard so far has been great feedback, and so it's been a great lesson for me to start this journey, and I think with the help of The Artist's Way, it's been a lot easier. Then she talks about criticism and how to take criticism, and most importantly, who and when to take it from. And in this section, she actually gives you a little task where you think about people in your life who have given you great criticism and those who have given you bad criticism, and you just make little pointers on their personality types and what makes them different, and also when the bad criticism happened. I'm sorry if I make no sense in this. I'm so jet lagged, so just bear with me. Thank you. So within this section, she also gives you 20 prompts. They're super short. Basically, you have to end the sentence with your answer, with the first thing that comes to mind. One of the prompts was, my favorite childhood game was ... I said to pretend to play Native American or hide and go seek tag. And the pretending to play Native American was actually a lot of things wrapped into one. I had this treehouse in my backyard with these swings, and me and my friend and Alyssa, we would go and pretend to ride horses on the swings, and we would bring big rocks and pretend that we were preparing this big feast for our tribe, and we would sing songs and we would do chants, and if we had the resources, like if my parents were willing to help, then we'd like build fires and stuff as Native Americans, or just pretending to be like of the land, like raw living in nature, and it was so fun. We'd also play games for literally 72 hours straight. We would be in character as moms for 72 hours. So when I look back at my childhood and I think about the games I love to play, I think about playing pretend with my best friend Alyssa and just acting and creating stories. I had about 100 million stuffed animals when I was growing up, and I had a personality for every single one of them. It was kind of like my own fantasy realm I called Osman-Ra, and there was politics, there were elections, there was drama, there was scandal, there was like one husband cheated. I was like 5 years old making up this stuff and pretending and just training, and just my imagination, wow, it was so complex. And I'm really happy that that was one of my favorite activities as a kid, because I think it's made me the actor and the performer and the storyteller that I am today. So definitely my favorite game was just the game of pretend and the game of imagination. And then lastly, in this chapter of power, she talks about growth and how to be gentle with yourself, and how you're going to take 2 steps forward and then 1 step back, and that it's going to be some crazy roller coaster of a journey, but you're expanding. She ends the reading by saying, as a creative being, you will be more productive when coaxed than when bullied. I love that. It reminds me of a quote that my best friend told me. She said, if being hard on yourself worked, it would have worked by now. Ain't that the truth? We are hard on ourselves for our whole lives, for a plethora of things that we don't need to be hard on ourselves on. Has it worked? Have we gotten anywhere by being hard on ourselves, by bullying ourselves, by being negative to ourselves? No, at all. No. So that is it for the reading, and now we are getting into the tasks for week 3. So the first task was to describe your childhood room. Yes! I love this! So I actually illustrated 2 childhood rooms because I had the same room my entire life. However, there were different eras of the room. The first one was my baby room and the room until I was about 11 years old. It was baby yellow. It was like this soft yellow color with floral trim all over the walls and full of stuffed animals and tiny. Just the way that we arranged the furniture just made the room feel so small and so safe and cozy. In that room, because I loved to play pretend so much, I had a doctor's office, I had a town hall, I had a aerobic gym, I had a spa. The spa was so fun. And just all of these, I had an entire city in my room, and I really saw it as that. And so going back and actually drawing out that room and remembering the layout and thinking, oh, what was there and what was there, and recovering memories from 10 years ago was so fun. I had so much fun with that. The next room I did was my room from 10 until I think maybe 16 or 17. This room was so loud. It was bright green. It was my room in high school, so I would bring my friends over and we would do fun activities and we would just paint all over the wall. And if I have pictures of it, I'll insert a picture of my sketches, but if I have pictures of these rooms, I will also try to have them up in this video somehow. Other ones were about making lists of friends, making lists of people you admire, making lists of people who you wish you met but now they're dead. So those were really cool. You're just compiling these lists and then finding characteristics in them that you like that maybe you want to empower yourself to be. I just feel so empowered and I feel inspired, and I think that's what she was really trying to do with this, is just like inspire us to think about these people who we look up to think about these people who we have admired for our whole lives, and to take after them and to take action, because if they could do it coming from whatever circumstances they came from, then so can we, so can I, so can you. And so that is it for my task takeaways. So that actually wraps this video. My camera's dying, so I gotta make it a little speedy quick, but overall I just want to say I do feel empowered, and it could be the book, it could also be me being back with my family. I think it's both. I think it's all the things mixed together, but I am just so ready to start doing some cool stuff. That's how I feel. I just feel so excited to do some cool stuff. And the next chapter is about recovering a sense of integrity. So I'm excited to see how it carries over. And I'll be spending a lot of time with my 7-month-old niece. Just a lot of downtime, hanging out with a baby. And I think that also brings out a certain side of creativity in me that I really love. So yeah. I will see you next week. I love making these videos, and thank you for watching. It means a lot to me. So bye, see you later.